Hello everyone, I'm Patrick. I'm developer of DC20 Foundry implementation, and I'm here today with you to show you few tricks when it comes to combat in DC20 and how to optimize using it as a DM. So let's start with the basics. So we have our little encounter here, our 3 players and 1 big red dragon. So maybe we will just go to Combat Encounter tab, create a new encounter, provide encounter DC. So we have our encounter DC 14. We will add our dragon to initiative. Okay, so our dragon is here. Our players, we can either add them like this, and then they have to roll, or they can just roll it from their character sheet. It's over here. So we will roll initiative for every single one of them. Yeah, so maybe we will roll it from here. Okay, so now when we click that button, we can see that we got this little pop-up with initiative slot selector. So only one player beat encounter DC. So first our enemy will go in the first slot, and then we can decide which slots will take other players. So let's say that Darius wants to go first, and Theo will go second, and Robin last. We click confirm. Our slots are prepared. Another thing about DC20, when you roll for initiative and you beat the encounter DC, you gain D6 inspiration die, which you can add to one check or save. So that's what happened here. So our Theo, we can see that he has his help dice, and we will be able to use it later. Okay, so quick note with initiative and companions. So companion is a special kind of actor that can be linked with his owner. So as you can see, we have wild form here, and we will link it with Robin. You link it by just dragging and dropping actor, and now he is linked. And when we take a look at configuration tab, we can see that it shares initiative with its owner. So with that, we can just drop that wild form, add it to combat, and we can notice that it will go at the same time as Robin. We can move our dragon, and we will have this little pop-up that will let us know that we need to spend 1 AP to make this move, and after we make that move, we will have 6 move points left. To make this pop-up appear, we need to go to the settings, DC20, and here we have allow for move action pop-up. Without it, we will just get an error that we cannot move because we have no move points. And to gain those move points, we can make move action. When we right click on our token, we can see those feats over here. When we click on that, we will spend 1 action to make a move action, so gain some move points that we can spend later to move. Right above this allow move action pop-up, we have use movement points, and here we can choose when do we want to spend move points. So by default, we only want to spend them on actor's turn. So for example, if I would like to move Darius, he will spend no movement points because it's not his turn. But if we decide to use some other option, so for example, when actor is in combat, then when we will save those settings, Darius will have to spend action points to move, even if it's not his turn. So by default, I think the most useful option is only on actor's turn, but maybe you want to use something different. Okay, So now we will talk about targeting in combat. So we have our Darius that will try to attack this dragon, and we will do it with our rapier. So we need to come closer and now target this creature. You can do this by pressing T button or by clicking this toggle target state when you right click on the token. And now we will make an attack with our rapier. And you can see this little magnifying glass over here. It's pinging because we should do roll level check. So when we click on that, we will see that nothing happened. But it's very useful and very good habit to do that, because sometimes, for example, when our dragon is exposed or exposed to even, we can automate calculating roll level for that check. So we should have advantage too, because he is exposed to. So when we click on that magnifying glass, we will see that we gain 2 levels of advantage from red dragon being exposed. And it will be automatically changed here as well. Also, we can spend action points to get advantage. So when we click on that, you can see that expected cost goes up, but we get advantage, +1 level of advantage as well. Another thing, we can spend action points or some other resources on enhancements. So as you can see, I can do a power attack by spending 1 more action point. Now I will spend 3 action points. There are more buttons over here, so let's go through them really quick. So first is ignore multiple check penalty. So by clicking this, we will, as the button says, ignore multiple check penalty. So if for some reason we don't want to calculate that, we can just disable that by clicking that button. Another thing is this little peak over here. So roll without usage costs and charges. So when we toggle that on, this attack will cost us nothing, no matter what is set here. So yeah, let's roll that attack. As you can see, we hit our target. You can see those buttons over here. By using those buttons, will allow us to add more advantages or remove some advantages if we rolled too high. So we can, as you can see, remove few of them, and now it's only 1 dice. And okay, so as you can see, it was automatically calculated that we hit that dragon. When you hover over that calculation, it will let you know that it's base value plus power attack minus resistance half. So that's the formula that was used to calculate that damage. And now we can apply that. And we gain a new message that it was applied. Okay, so sorry for that, I had to roll it again. As you can see, I added few advantages manually by clicking this button. So now 19 is our roll. So it's still a hit for a dragon. When we hover over that, we can see that it's base value plus power attack minus resistance half. So that's the calculation formula for that dragon. And that's what you see as a GM. But the perspective will differ for your players. So maybe one more thing before we move to that. So as you can see, we have targets or selected options. So selected is calculating for targets that you have already selected as a GM. So we will select wild form and this Robin guy and click this refresh calculation button here, and we can see that it will calculate for Robin and this wild form. We also have this button over here that will allow us to add any token that we have already selected as a target. So when we click on that, you can see that now both Red Dragon and Tio are targets of that attack. So you can use that when your players, for example, forget to target something, because from their perspective, when they forget to target something, it will look like this. So you can see that no target is selected, and it will just show calculations when there is no target. So something like resistance is not calculated here because there is no target that we can check it if it has resistance to that attack. So we can jump to targets, and we can see that both Red Dragon and Tio are hit, but we don't see any calculations of the damage because you as a DM are not allowing for that. So one thing with DC20, you can, depending on the game you want to play, you can let players see more or less. So with that, we can go to settings and click on show event chat message to players to show messages when someone takes damage or loses an effect. So message like this. And another thing, show damage and healing on chat message. So we will select both of those options, and now when we go to the player perspective, let's attack again with the rapier. Okay, and now we can see that it works. So we can see that it's a miss on that target, on that Red Dragon. But we can use our help dice to help Darius with that attack. So to use that, we just drag and drop it on the chat message. And as you can see, rapier was modified with help action with value of 6, and now it's a heavy hit instead of a miss. We have one more thing in settings that I want to show you, or even a little bit more than one. So first thing you might want to toggle is to run roll level check automatically. So when I try to attack now with my rapier, you will see that I have to click on that button. It pings me like, hey, click on me to run roll level check. And when I do, you can see that I have 2 level of advantages from exposed, but I have 3 disadvantage level from multiple check penalty. If I click on that button and try to check it again, I will ignore multiple check penalty, so I will only have 2 advantage level from exposed. So when I roll that, it's a crit, nice. Yeah, but when I toggle that option, that's over here, run roll level check automatically, and I save my settings, then when I click on the rapier, you can see that my roll level was changed automatically. So 2 advantage level, 3 disadvantage. So it is useful, but it also, your players might forget why they get those advantages, disadvantages. If they want, they can always check them here. And also, when we click this ignore multiple check penalty and roll our run our check again, you can see it will change back as it should. Another thing we might want to use is range check and position check. So range check will check our weapon range, and if we should hit our target, and position check will take a look at things like close quarters or flanking. And now we will try to attack this dragon, but when we are out of range with our weapon. So our rapier is a melee weapon, so we need to be next to our target. but we can try to attack it. And as you can see, we have a pop-up that we are out of range. Yeah, so now when we move closer to that dragon again, and we should be flanking because our friend is next to that dragon as well, we can rerun those calculations again, and we can see that we gain +2 bonus because dragon is flanked. So this toggle appears here. And when we roll, attack, you can see that this +2 was added. So that's how you use flanking rules automation by enabling position check. Another thing I want to show you is using range weapon. So let's use Tio and his great bow. And I think it's quite a range. So let's change it to be a little bit shorter. So maybe it will be 5 and 10 to show you how it works exactly. So now we try to attack with our great bow. And as you can see, we have disadvantage level 1 because we are at long range from that dragon. And if we move out of range, let's move over here and try to attack it again, we will be automatically failing because we are out of range. So it's when those pop-ups appear, it's worth to take a look at those. If they don't appear, then it is most likely easy calculation, but when something automatically failing happens, then this pop-up will always appear even if you use roll level check automation. Okay, so there is one more thing I want you to see here. So as you can see, I prepared new attack that will hit heavily, and it has a few maneuvers added. So I added hinder and a slow maneuver. And as you can see, maybe I will add a few more targets to make it better. Yeah. Now, as you can see, I added to those targets, and you see those buttons over here below damage. You can see those buttons to make a physical save DC14 and also to apply status hindered and slowed. So you can click on all of those buttons one by one and then manually apply those effects. But you can also use this menu over here. And this menu is in order that you should press those buttons in. So first you should always apply damage and healing. And then you should ask for roll requests. And when you click on this button or those buttons over here, if player is active, the pop-up will appear on his side. So let's try it with, so first dragon, he is only your token, so you will see that pop-up asking for a save. But for a player, I will click on Robin. Robin's user is active, so he was asked to make that save. I have him on other screen, and when he clicks on that, he will make that save, and I will see that it succeeded with 20. And the same would happen to Tio. Also, and then I could, if he succeeded, then I'm not applying anything. But if he failed, I could apply it here by clicking hindered and slowed over here like this, and it was applied to him. But now we want to use some other functionality that we have. Okay, so one thing we can do as a DMs as well is to use this apply for selected tokens section, and now whatever we selected, we can apply those effects and ask for a roll for that save. Yeah, so there is also an option to do that. But yeah, first, now we want to talk about this little thing because it can speed up your games significantly. So, first, I would say that our, I think it's Robin. Yeah, he has parry maneuver. So our Robin would say that will say that he wants to make a parry maneuver when he sees you attacking him. So you allow him to do that. He applies this effect for him on himself, and now you as a DM have to refresh calculations for that token. So as you can see, his damage was reduced from 3 to 2 because it's not a brutal hit anymore, it's only a heavy hit. So that is applied automatically. The only thing you had to do is refresh calculations. And now, how we let the system know that this parry should be removed, because it should be removed after the first after the attack was made. So you parry one attack and then it is removed. So to let our system know, we will use this third button, target confirm. So the way it works, it triggers an event, target confirmation, and this particular effect is calculated in the way that it will be removed when we confirm targets. But yeah, here is the correct order you should press those buttons. So first we will apply damage and healing. So we have those events printed, so it worked. Now we will ask for roll request. So we will roll for a dragon, and our players will roll for Robin and Theo. As you can see, we see everyone rolled, and sadly everyone succeeded. So I want them to fail, at least one of them. So maybe Robin will fail for me. Okay, now it's better. Then we click target confirm, and as you can see, parry was removed from Robin because yeah, it did his job. And now we have those two buttons. So depending on what you want to achieve, you will press either one of them. So maybe we will start with apply all effect statuses to targets that failed roll request. So when you click that, you will see that only Robin will get those effects. So that's probably the button that you will click more often, because yeah, it will be probably more useful. But the other one is will apply all statuses and effects to every target, no matter if it succeeded or failed this roll. So when you click on that, you will see that Dragon, Robin got second stack, and Theo also got those effects on himself. So yeah, I think that's few tricks that are very useful when using this DC20 implementation in Foundry to speed up your combat. Because yeah, clicking on all those saves, or even not knowing about that, you can click on those buttons to ask for a roll and ask one by one. Depending on amount of players, it can take a lot of time, and that way you can speed it up. Yeah, so I hope that this video was not too chaotic. I am sorry in advance, And if you have any questions, ask them in the comment. And if you have any other aspects of DC20 you would like to hear more about, how to speed up some other things or some other neat tricks and tips that I can share, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.